welcome to this solar guidance reading. I was going to say solar guidance reading, but soul guidance reading. It is a last quarter moon reading that I'm doing. Okay, I have been thinking about doing these quarter moons readings for some time now. So they're basically sandwiched between the new moon and the full moons. Okay, so they happen each quarter, and essentially it's when the moon actually looks like half of the full moon, despite the fact it's called a quarter full moon. Okay, a quarter moon. So I feel like this is quite an important time for me doing for these readings, personally for myself, as well as for anyone listening. And without any further ado, let's go straight into the reading. So this reading gives you some dates, give you some ballpark dates. We're looking at the 2nd and the 3rd. Technically, it would have been the 2nd, okay, again, and maybe the 3rd, depending on where you live. But as it was the 2nd yesterday, I unfortunately was absolutely flattened with no energy whatsoever. I woke up feeling extremely fatigued, despite having a full night's sleep. And yeah, just was unable to even contemplate attempting to record anything for a good part of the day. So I have still decided to do it today, and as it's a new thing, I don't think it's going to make any difference, as it is for the several days coming up to the new moon in Gemini, which would be at the end of rather next week. It's on the Thursday. That's GMT London time, about 11:52. Okay, and it is going to be in Gemini. So we're starting this week off, I feel, with some of you or anyone listening, you know, and we could all be subject to this possibly, is that it could be riddled with fear. Okay, now there are many ways fear can sort of come up. It could be things that are beyond your control. I have a feeling that the fates are going to play, the gods are going to play a hand in this. Okay, and some of you are actually just negatively thinking. But there's two aspects. There's the fate side, where things are beyond your control, and there's things where your mind plays tricks on you, or you keep on obsessively thinking about things. So whichever camp you're falling into, okay, be aware that there is some fear that is around energetically. Okay, it could be also not your fear, but a fear that's coming through for some of you empaths and some of you who are very sensitive. You might actually find that you are tuning into some unknown fear. Okay, and this is why it's really important to assess, make assessment, okay, and do some self-reflection as well, which is actually a couple of the cards that have come up. So this really ties in with the fear of paying attention to beginning to start recognizing whether it's your fear or not. Okay, what fear does as well as can have you stuck, okay, and stay stagnant or positioned in a situation where you feel that you're crouching or being like a rabbit, you know, sort of staring at the headlights and not moving. It is really important that whatever happens, that you surrender to certainly what you cannot control, okay? Even if the fear is something of your imagining or your obsessive thinking, then you actually want to observe yourself and notice that maybe your thinking or overdrive of thinking is creating the sense of fear, okay? Now, fear can come into so many forms of obsessing about a person or a situation, okay? Or it could also be maybe a dilemma. Perhaps there's a sense of concerns and worry about work or where your next bit of money is coming. Well, I did do 1 or 2 readings this weekend and found that 1 or 2 people actually had the same issue, that during this whole COVID and pandemic, that they have lost out on some job opportunities, or things have been very changeable. So despite the fact that they had said yes to some work, they were then got let down, and then the work they decided to turn away, in fact, has now gone past them. And there's all this worry about, you know, sort of doing your head in about thinking things through to the point that you're actually not getting anywhere, but regretting and fearing the scarcity mentality, you know, and having the scarcity mentality. Now, I did do a Facebook Live over the weekend. I think it was Bank Holiday Monday. Now, if you need to, you can go to my Facebook link below and tune into that, because the scarcity belief card did come up, okay, and we have got it again here on the table. All right, so some of you could definitely be thinking or over worrying about what's not happening, where you're going to get the money from, what are you going to do, you know, how am I going to manage all these fears, okay? Now, if you keep on playing these over and over, it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy as well. And yes, it could have been some difficult weeks and possibly some months of hardship. It could have been maybe even a pattern that you're recognizing that is reoccurring. It is really important that you find, I was just checking the recording there because this is actually, the first one didn't even record. The second one recorded with my name underneath, so it was a new Zoom. I've recently upgraded my Zoom. So anyhow, and so this is my third, and I suddenly had this horrible thought, this fear that this wasn't recording again, or something going wrong with the recording. But anyway, hey ho, it's fine. So coming back to what I was saying, it's a self-reflection time. Okay, it's really important that we take time to self-reflect now and be really honest with ourselves in every aspect of our lives. Right now, whatever is not satisfying you, whatever is not working for you, whatever you're noticing doesn't feel right for you, it doesn't feel the right fit anymore for you. Okay, there's been a lot of shifts and change energetically, emotionally, mentally for many of us. Okay, I think it's really now a time to start really seeing and getting your head above the water to see really where is it that you can actually better your life in so many ways. Okay, now this is not about guilt. This is not about feeling bad about who you're leaving behind or who you have to let go of. Okay, for some of you, this definitely could be a partnership, relationship, and some very old friendships as well. Okay, if I feel that you don't actually take charge and are honest about yourself or honest about your situation or what's true for you, I think the fates will play a hand as well on this. Okay, which means something could come out of the blue, a situation, an argument, something quite dramatic could actually happen for you to actually recognize that this is now serving you. Okay, we only get served like the tarot moment in a tarot card when we keep on repeating the same old patterns and actually not actually doing us the service, the self-service of actually changing, making changes. Okay, some people are not good at making changes and will stay stuck until a situation will serve them. If that is your case, and if that's what's going to happen possibly for you this week, notice it is serving your higher purpose and your higher good. And the fates are actually putting things in its order, so it is course correcting your situation. Now, if you're one of these people as well that you're sensitive to what is true for you, perhaps what you know to be no longer serving you, and you want to create a different picture within yourself, okay, that you know within yourself something does no longer fit, you're able to make the changes after some kind of assessment, then do so. Okay, it is very much a time of being very spontaneous in your actions as well. So rather than swimming in a pool or in a mud bath of fear or concerns, it is time to pivot. Okay, so start thinking about how can I do things differently? What is it I need to do so I can actually maybe get myself out of this rut or out of this thinking? Okay, it is really important, and trust that you have the ability to be spontaneous. Now, this is not about bypassing, because I'm massive on not bypassing. Okay, I'm always saying feel your emotions, this, that, and the other, and do not bypass. But this is not a bypass, but this is actually after your self-assessment or recognizing where you need to be really honest with yourself, where you can actually recognize maybe where you need to redirect your life. Okay, we are coming up to, like I said, the new moon on the 10th of June, which is a week today. Okay, and it is a solar eclipse. So it is a great opportunity for us to be able to really put some intentions towards this new moon and really start thinking bigger. Okay, really almost getting the telescope out and say, where do I really want to be? How do I want to feel? What kind of life do I want? Okay, I feel personally that there's been a lot of opportunity for a lot of us, myself included, to really reflect and get clear on what really you want and what you don't want. Okay, you know, creating a life that you really want isn't just for other people. Okay, they're not for the people that you see on your feeds, on your Facebook, or some memes that you see, or people doing the work and stuff. This, you know, this is, when I say a free-for-all, this is an opportunity for every single one of you, okay, and every single one of us, all right? And it is really an opportunity for you to start really honing in what is you want, what you truly moves you, you know, and what, if you like, how can I beautify my life? Okay, now the beauty I'm talking about is not a physical beauty where you're going to have a nose job and your, you know, tits done and your ass clipped or whatever it is. I'm not interested in that kind of beauty. I'm interested in the inner beauty or the outer beauty that kind of manifests from the inside, where you become really know yourself, where by assessing and getting to know yourself, you're able to be really congruent and aligned in what you want. Okay, this is definitely an opportunity for you to start putting that out there, as well as start creating and carving the possibility of a big dream that you would really like to have happen. Okay, now do avoid the scarcity thinking, which is, you know, like, oh, well, that's just not going to happen to me, or this is just not, those things don't happen to me because they haven't so far as well. You know, whatever it is, you know, just be mindful of your mind going round and round in a situation that is not going to serve you. This is really, really important. And I say this because I feel that we have also got Mercury retrograde throughout this whole period. It was in the shadow period in the lunar eclipse at the end of May, and it is very much in retrograde coming up to, as we're now, as I'm even recording this, hence the 3 times recording, and also as we go into the eclipse. So Mercury being in Gemini, Mercury rules Gemini, and mercurial thinking is very busy thinking. It's, you know, wanting to get things organized, learning new information. But retrograde also means we're re-editing life, we're re-looking at things. So, you know, self-assessing, self-reflecting is a really, really good time to be doing this. So this couldn't be a more poignant and appropriate reading for coming up to this full, the new moon. Okay, this is exactly what we need to be doing. Exactly what we need to be spending time on doing, you know. So take some time out if you can, you know, and really kind of start carving out what elements of your life can be a bit more harmonious. Okay, and trust whatever happens or is happening or could be happening leading up to the new moon as well, that is happening to serve you and possibly even to nourish you. Okay, if things do rock you, you know, and shake you up or shake your world up, just again go back into your heart and just recognize that it's going to be serving you and course correcting you. Okay, what you don't want to do is fall into a dark hole in a dark space. So if any one of you possibly can do that, just recognize that this is not something that you need to do. Not get stuck in it if you can. Like I said, just be spontaneous and pivot. Okay, watch a good film, you know, do anything to get you out of that darkness. All right, and like I said, I'm not encouraging a bypass, but I'm certainly encouraging you not to feel over obsessed and worry too much. Now, the other thing I want to say about this week as we go along is be mindful of how you are engaging in time and with people, certainly in your communication. Okay, the communication could be very convoluted, mistaken, be slowed down so your communication is clear, and also you don't send the wrong email to the wrong person type thing going on. Also, for some of you, might actually need to really let go of certain communications and endings as well. The eclipse is very much about endings. So this is time now, really time to release anything that's going to fragment your life, anything that's actually not serving you anymore. It is a real opportunity to release, okay? So realize that this release needs to happen in order for you to carve a new life coming up to the Gemini new moon. At the bottom of this deck of my moon oracle deck here is the new beginnings. Now, also, I did say last month at the lunar eclipse, be patient. We are cultivating some time, so be patient with yourself. If you're not feeling great, be patient with yourself. Be nourishing to yourself. If you feel like you ought to be doing this and that and all that, again, just be patient. Just trust, okay, that we have been so indoctrinated in our world to be doing, that we feel so wrong for not doing. Okay, and that's another thing that could be going around in your mind, that I should be doing this, I ought to be doing that, I need to be doing this, or I shouldn't be sitting down thinking or spending time and not doing anything. Okay, be mindful of these shoulds and trust fate. So trust even your daily activity, the mundane side, not the mundane side of fate. Maybe you are feeling a bit sort of lethargic or without energy. Just trust that. Okay, you're not going to sink into an abyss of not doing. Okay, it's when you surrender to the truth of the matter, that's when you can also just be lifted up from it. All right, nature does not doubt its natural cycles, and we also have our own cycles, and the moon plays a massive part in our lives. Hence my interest in doing moon readings, particularly. Okay, and you all also have certain aspects of your moon that are personally affecting you as well, and you could also find that out through some charts that you can actually look up to see where your moon cycle is. But this is not what this reading is about. But in any case, just to wrap up, do take some time in reflecting, okay? If you're worried about your head being above water, just know that this too will pass. Put your intentions out there and see possibly what could brighten your life up, okay? This is a really, really great time for you to be really going for your intentions. So spend some time, you know, cultivating some peaceful interior investigation, both of yourself. Go outdoors in nature. That's where you can go right now, and really enjoying the beauty of life. You know, really be appreciative of the beauty that's around you as well. Okay, because what's reflected on the outside is what's in the inside. And then spend some time putting maybe a list of the changes you'd like to make, and then be really honest. I think for many of us, there's been a lot of life really reflecting back. Kind of like in a really kind of high intensity HD level of what's really not working and where you want to turn your back on things and people, and maybe even ideas, maybe even a kind of life that you thought you wanted to have. Okay, this is a real good time to do that. So, you know, just embrace what you're recognizing, you know, take the assessments in a way that's helpful to you, put your vision out there, go towards the spark of light, okay, and don't be afraid to wish or to dream and to vision bigly, if there's such a word, all right? And then let go of fear, and then dim that light of fear, because that's just not going to serve you at this time. So I'm going to love and leave you at this reading here. All my details are below, and there's also a new button that I've or highlighted link that's called Ko-fi or Coffee. It's Ko-fi. It's a platform for generating income through, you know, through making a goal. And I have been thinking for some time of designing some cards and putting some cards together. And I have got an illustrator on board, and together we're going to try and carve out a deck of cards to do with stepping into your power for teenagers onwards as well. So it's going to be also useful for adults, but particularly my interest is to work and encourage teenagers to really sort of empower them and be empowered as well. So your donations will be most welcome to support that project, or any other donations can be made through PayPal. Please like and subscribe. It always helps to generate the growth of my channel. Yeah, I would really appreciate that, because it can be sometimes disheartening to see such low views, despite the fact that I've been putting these out. So do pass these on as well. And if it speaks to you, do share it boldly to your community and your friends. All right, lots of love, and I'll catch you in the new moon Gemini next Thursday. So watch out for this coming into your subscription box, and hopefully there'll be some great advice how to guide your soul through the next phase of the new moon. Lots of love, and I shall leave it here. Bye for now. Bye.